What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to go over the Canmore market update for April 2024. First, we'll dive into the statistics as a market as a whole, and then we'll break down specific property types.
Sounds good. So overall, the end of month active inventory was 121 properties. We had 70 new listings in April, 38 sold. Average list price was 1.437 and change. Average sale price was 1.416 and change. Total sold to ask is 100%. I know that's not exactly 100, but it's right around 100%. The average price per square foot was $796 a square foot. Average days on the market was 44, and total month supply was 2.65 months.
Overall, pretty solid month for April. We did see things stay fairly similar to years past. Now we'll dive into specific property types if you don't have anything else to add.
No, we'll keep going here.
We'll start with apartments. We had 6 sales for an average list price of just over $925,000. The average sale price was coming in at just over $907,000 for an average sold to ask ratio of 98%. The average price per square foot was coming in at just under $750, and the average days on the market was 63.
Perfect. We'll move into townhouses. Townhouses, we had 10 units sell. Average list price of 1.271. Average sale price of 1.273. Right around 100% sold to ask. Average price per square foot was $758, and total days on the market was 44. We'll get into that a little bit about townhouses when we kind of wrap up, because I think there's some interesting things that have happened there.
For sure. Single family, we had 8 sales for an average list price of just over $2.6 million. The average sale price was just over $2.5 million. And the sold to ask ratio on average for those single family homes was 98%. The average price per square foot, $704, and the average days on the market, 28 days. So we'll also touch on that too, because that's quite quick.
Yeah, that is quite quick. Half duplexes, we had 3 half duplexes sell. Average list price, 1.553. Average sale price is 1.534. 99% sold to ask. $623 a square foot and 102 days on the market. So again, we'll talk about that as we go.
Now we'll move into the short-term rental sector. Keep in mind, we are just talking about the resale market, so not talking about any pre-construction projects or anything like that. Hotel condos, we had 6 sales for an average list price of $843,000 and change. The average sale price was coming in at just shy of $874,000. The average sold to ask ratio, 103%. Again, keep in mind that that does typically include GST on the sale price. Average price per square foot, $969, and the average days on the market, 20 days.
Great. So tourist home, average list price was 1.150. The average sale price was 1.156. 101% sold to ask. The average price per square foot, $975, which is interesting, real close to the hotel condo. And 46 days on the market average. So,
and there was 5 of those sell for April. 5 sales.
Yeah, 5 sales.
Yeah. So let's talk about maybe what some of those statistics mean. Obviously, we're not going to go into complete depth of everything. We're just going to talk about some key points on the market. Do you want to start with talking about maybe the townhouse market and how we've seen that develop from the past?
Yeah, I think late last year, we saw the townhouse market in Canmore kind of level off. And I think just doing some data and looking at the statistics, what was happening was people were through COVID and into, out of COVID, we were seeing prices rise month over month over month over month. And I think the townhouse market hit a plateau.
Yeah.
And therefore it had to back off just a little bit to get to a point where it flattened out.
Yeah.
And now I think that market is kind of reflective of what market value is. And therefore you're seeing a lot more sales quicker. 44 days is I think if we look, I think that's right around the average of the whole market not as a whole. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's right on the average. So
Yeah.
and selling for 100% list.
Totally.
Just even in the last 2 weeks, we've seen some townhouses come on and go into multiple offers.
Yeah.
People are now again going, okay, that price point seems to be fair, so to speak.
Well, and it's interesting how it correlates to half duplexes. And because theoretically, if you think about it, it should be almost the other way around at initial glance. And the reason why that is because half duplexes don't have condo fees.
Yeah.
Right? And condo fees seem to start to, or are starting to get a little bit higher as time goes on. But in turn, you're paying, at minimum almost of $1.5 million for these half duplexes. And sure, the price per square foot is in the low 600s, but people are going, well, it's still 2,000 plus square feet for these half duplexes.
Yeah.
So of course they're not going to pay what that would work out to in square foot price if it was a single family home. So I think that price point of that 1.2 to 1.3 suits a lot more people than over 1.5
to 2 mil,
because those people are going for either luxury apartments because they like the condo living, or they're just going single family.
Yeah, they are.
Right?
They are. I think one thing to note with the half duplexes is 102 average days in the market. There are, I don't know the number, but there are a fair few of those that are new builds.
Correct.
That, tend to have sat a little bit. And I'm not quite sure why that is. A lot of them are in Hospital Hill there. And as you come out of downtown. So,
which is interesting. I mean, I think I actually quite like Hospital Hill. Like, I don't mind that area just because of its proximity to downtown and whatnot. But I do understand why, there's not a whole lot of properties in there that can get a really solid view.
Yeah.
And there's lots of construction going on in there. It's a little bit of a different feel.
It is.
It's a South Canmore feel without the ability to really get views.
Yeah.
So I think that's where people are looking elsewhere because people who are spending that kind of money, lots of them want a view. It's very important to them.
For sure.
We've seen that firsthand.
Yeah. Talk about the single family a little bit. That market was a little bit off last year.
Yeah.
But I think it's it seems to be 90%, 98% sold to ask, and then the square foot price is good. But having 8 sales in 1 month is pretty strong.
Yeah.
And 28 days on the market. I mean,
totally.
I think it just goes to show you that the market as a whole in Canmore, like we've been talking about for so long, has remained very solid.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've seen a lot of activity in the hotel in the short term.
Yeah.
In the last 2 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what May's data looks like. But again, that's part of that time of year.
For sure. For sure.
Coming into the busy season.
Well, it's just interesting, like going back to the single family specific property type is we collaborate with a ton of awesome realtors in the Valley, but my good friend, we were talking about single families and how we both agreed on it's one of the best property types that people can invest in Canmore long term. Like the value there is just, it's hard to beat that value. So I really found that intriguing, and the more I looked at it, the more I understood that. And I think we're starting to see that with days on the market to sell and square foot price and average sold to ask ratio.
Yeah.
Like I think that's starting to line up more. And I do think that the single family market is a great market.
It's interesting because the single family market from, 2019 to now took a big jump.
Huge.
Right? I mean, single family homes, some of them, 60, 70%.
Yeah.
And so anytime that happens, I think the market goes, whoa, what's going on?
Yeah.
And I think now it's kind of going, okay, it's leveled out. This is what the prices are, and move forward. I mean, I really think the investment market, as far as real estate in Canmore on a whole, is fantastic. So.
Well, even year to date from last year, we're seeing 15% increase. And that obviously doesn't reflect every single property. And,
No.
and there's different things that calculate into that number, but real estate is going up. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we don't need to talk about that. Let's talk about the short-term rentals. What you're seeing in the market. Obviously it's that time of year where it seems like everybody starts entering the conversation on, hey, I want a short-term rental in Canmore. Obviously summer is our peak season. Obviously, we have year-round rentals, but what are you seeing there in conversation with our clients and looking at the data? What's your opinion on that market right now?
It never seems to fail come May, you know. The market tends to take quite a jump.
Yeah.
People start to get interested in purchasing, whether that's because of how busy it's going to be or it just starts to get nice out and people come here. I'm not sure why that is, but what is interesting to me is tourist homes typically were higher price per square foot than hotel condos. And if you look at the data in April, it's basically bang on even.
Yeah.
And so it'll be interesting to watch that as we
Yeah.
go with what, you know, the town is going to do with tourist homes. And it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But, you know, I've been working with a couple clients in the last few days and we're in multiple offers again.
Yeah.
And that we didn't see that through the winter as much.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that again now.
Yeah.
And things are going for well over ask.
Totally.
In certain circumstances.
Totally. Well, and multiple offers too. Like, I mean, if you look back in the last 6 months,
Yeah.
there's no multiple offers.
No,
like
very
that
few.
wasn't happening. I mean, sure, here and there,
The
but
odd
like
one.
it wasn't common. And
No.
now it's just like that
Yeah, you
premium
better be
property
prepared.
comes up, and you got to be prepared.
And it's interesting because you basically can tell what's going to go because you'll see the realtor post, leave offers open until
Yeah.
Monday at 6 p.m., right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes realtors were doing that and they weren't getting the offers. And then now we're seeing, you know, I just did one where there was 4 offers. So
Yeah. And as in the market as a whole, but specifically short-term rentals, financing is definitely becoming more difficult.
Yep.
But we do have some awesome connections for financing. If you want to connect with us, we're happy to share our connections with you, and hopefully that they can help. It's who we try and refer our clients to, and quite frankly, we don't get any benefit out of it other than you guys succeeding and getting the property that you want. So,
perfect.
If you have questions about that, reach out to us. If you have any comments on the market statistics or you want more information, we're happy to provide that to you. We're happy to provide you more in-depth statistics. And if you don't have anything to add, I think that's a wrap for the April market.
no, I think that's great. Look forward to May's next month and doing a couple other videos in the next few weeks. So
Perfect. Thanks for joining. Take care.
yeah, bye now.